We finally made it. Today ends our top 10 countdown until we do this again for Shimmering Skies. But Ursula's Return has brought us 34 brand new steel cards, 37 if you include the Enchanted Rares. I'm Lorcana Thanos, the Mad Titan of the Illuminary, and today we are going to see which cards make the cut for the top 10 steel cards in Ursula's Return. Number 10. Our Bottom Dweller is a card that is starting to see some competitive play, and that is Avalanche. Avalanche is a non-inkable 4-cost action that deals 1 damage to each opposing character. Then you can banish a chosen location, so this card has some great potential in the metagame. It's a cross between Grab Your Sword and Rise of the Titans, both of which are steel staples now. And I don't like that the card is non-inkable, but the massive damage effect is great and it fits within Steel's color identity. But being able to remove a location is fantastic. We all know that locations such as, say, Queen's Castle are very powerful in the current metagame, and you need a way to remove them from the board. Number 9. Next up, we have I Find 'Em, I Flatten 'Em. This 4-cost inkable song banishes all items. This is fantastic. It's anti-item slinger, anti-sleepy's flute, anti-sapphire, and I am here for it. While Steel does have cards like Benja and Aladdin, I still think you would run anywhere from 3 to 4 copies of this card. I think the ideal sweet spot is probably 2, but that's just personal preference. And while this card hits your items as well, I don't really care because you could simply just play your items after the resolution of this card. Number 8. Continuing the countdown, our next card is Fortisphere. Fortisphere is a 1-cost inkable item that has 2 abilities. The first is called Resourceful. This ability, it's just a cantrip. It's not a bad thing, but drawing is drawing. And then the second ability, Extract of Steel. This is interesting. You pay an ink, you banish the Fortisphere, and then you give a chosen character bodyguard until the start of your next turn. So I really like this card for the Musketeer deck. So I will be doing a profile on that in the near future. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. But it's, obviously a good way to protect a character and survive. I love bodyguard as a keyword. Number 7. Our lucky number 7 slot, we have Lefou, Opportunistic Flunky. Gaston's Lackey is an inkable 3-cost Dreamborn ally who has 2 strength, 3 willpower, and a lore pip. So what makes Lefou interesting to me is his ability, and during your turn, you may play him for free if an opposing character was banished during a challenge this turn. So free playing characters in any card game is generally very good. It can be borderline broken if it gets out of hand. And even in Lorcana, and if you look at like the Mufasa-based decks, the value generated off that ability is potentially very crazy. And in my TCG experience, free play can get out of hand if the game's not balanced properly. And I don't think this is going to be an issue going forward, but it's something with card design to keep an eye out on going forward. Number 6. We're almost at the midpoint in our next card. It makes me so happy. If you follow me on X, which you can do so at Lorcana Thanos, or you've possibly seen my tweets, you know that I am a day 1 dedicated broom boy. Number 6 is Magic Broom Ariel Cleaner. Ariel Cleaner, it really helps bring the deck together. Not only is it a inkable 2-cost Dreamborn, obviously it's a broom, but it sweeps the competition away with 2 strength, 3 willpower, and a lore pip. And then his ability is not only great for the deck, but for Steel in general. So during your turn, he gains Evasive, and Evasive it's one of my favorite keywords. It can be very difficult to deal with, and especially in this metagame with Diablo running around, you need something that has Evasive as a way to deal with it. And Evasive naturally can be a problem if you don't have anything in play that can deal with it. Number 5. We've reached the midpoint, and it's time to start training with Phil. Phil is a Storyborn ally who is inkable, and he costs 4. He has 2 strength, 3 willpower, and 2 lore pips. Just from the stats, I think Phil's great. Maybe a little understated on strength, but it's thematically relevant. He's a tiny goat man, so but he has 2 abilities. The first is you gotta stay focused. So it gives your hero characters Challenger +1, and given that Steel likes to challenge, this fits right into Steel's color identity. Then the second ability, Shameless Promoter, it gains you 1 lore whenever you play a hero character. So also, just like with the Musketeers, I'm going to be doing a hero deck here on the channel at some point, so be on the lookout for that. But naturally, in a hero-based deck, the Shameless Promoter ability seems very powerful, and I definitely want to explore this more in the future. Number 4. We're going back to the broom deck. For our number 4 slot, we have Mickey Mouse Playful Sorcerer. I love this version of Mickey in general, and the Sorcerer's Apprentice, it's my favorite segment of Fantasia, so Brooms has been a deck that I've been excited about since set 1, and just been excited to collect every little piece that we get here and there, and I still feel like we're going to get more as the game continues. But Playful Sorcerer, it's an inkable 5-cost floorborn hero sorcerer who has 3 strength, 4 willpower, 2 lore pips, resist +1, and shifts for 3, so all the keywords. And typically, you'll see most Broom players use Mickey Mouse Standard Bearer as the shift target for this guy. Sometimes you're going to have to use Wayward Sorcerer if needed in order to shift, but his ability, it's very thematic. So his ability is called Sweep Away, and when you play him, you deal damage to a chosen character equal to the number of brooms that you have in play. So in an ideal situation, you can take about just about anything, and I really love this card for brooms, and the art, it's very iconic. Number 3, our bronze medalist card is a card that I talked about in my ranking every legendary and Ursula's Return video. Click the card up here to watch that video, but finish this one first. And that card is Donald Duck Buccaneer. Donald is a Dreamborn hero pirate and captain who swashbuckles with 3 strength, 4 willpower, and a lore pip. His ability says that during your turn, whenever he banishes a character in a challenge, your other characters gain +1 lore this turn. Again, we're leaning into Steel's color identity of challenging and gaining effects, and I really like the design of this card. I also want to explore utilizing him in a pirate captain theme deck, so be sure to look out for that here on the channel as well, to go along with the Musketeers and the heroes, so be sure you are subscribed. Number 2, let's go from sailing the high seas to going under the sea with Ariel, Sonic Warrior. Everyone's favorite redhead is an inkable 6-cost floodborn hero princess who splashes with 3 strength, 8 willpower, which is crazy, and 2 lore pips. She also shifts for 4. So far, I love her. Her ability, Amplified Voice, says that whenever you play a song, you may pay 2 ink to deal 3 damage to a chosen character. So on paper, this reads particularly good, but in testing, she's been a little hit or miss. Ideally, she fits best in Steel Song, and you can shift on top of her. Ideally over Ariel Spectacular Singer. I've talked about this repeatedly in the video, but again, this leans into the color identity of Steel. I love that the damage that this card can dish out, yes, there's a cost applied to it, but it's a price I'm willing to pay. It's basically a built-in smash. Number 1. Here we are at number 1, and our top card is Aladdin Brave Rescuer. You may be surprised about this or think he's a little too high, but I just love this card and what he has to offer. He's inkable, costs 3, has 3 strength, 3 willpower, and a lore pip. He's a floodborn hero who also utilizes one of the new ways to shift by just discarding a location. And you shift over in Aladdin you have on board, or just wait, pay the 3 ink, and hardcast them. Out here also has item removal, which is so important now going into the metagame, especially against, of course, something like Shisu on Ice. And while cards like Benja do exist, Aladdin is a constant item removal while he's on board, and you can quest with him, banish an item, and I just think this card's very powerful. Alright, so there you have the top 10 cards in Steel in Ursula's Revenge. So as always, be sure to let me know down below what you thought of the video. You know, if you disagree, you want to rearrange the list, you thought I missed something, that's perfectly fine. Be sure to let me know what you thought and what I may have missed. As always, be sure to give me one of these. They are super helpful. As always, be sure to smash the subscribe button and click that bell so you can notify when I upload new videos each Tuesday and Friday. Can't do this without you, and I love talking about this game. This game is so much fun, but I can't grow and get exposure without you guys. As always, I'll see you next time, and remember, the hardest choices require the strongest wills. Bye.